38, but I want to point to some things inside the poll because I know one of the arguments is, well, that's just a national poll. If you look at swing states, Biden leads in 5 of them and is basically tied in the 6th, North Carolina. And one of the big reasons for the president's recent drop appears to be that 31% approve of his response to the protest after George Floyd's death and 56% disapprove. Mercedes, by wide margins, people in the Fox poll think that Joe Biden respects racial minorities and President Trump does not.
I don't know how that's even possible because if you want to see the record of Joe Biden, it's one in which he proudly embraced segregationists. I mean, even his colleagues like Senator Kamala Harris basically accused him of being a racist. He's one who gave a eulogy at Senator Robert Byrd's funeral. I mean, we can go down the list. He did not provide any significant change for the black community. In fact, he supported mass incarceration when it came to supporting the 1994 crime bill. This is in complete contrast to President Trump, who has been focused on uplifting the black community. Just this week, he signed an executive order on the police reform, where in essence, he's ensuring that these police departments implement these best practices, and they get incentivized for this. And you know how he did it? He worked with both law enforcement and community leaders.
But let me ask you about the president's record when it comes to race. Let's take the case of Mary Elizabeth Taylor, who is an assistant secretary of state and one of the highest ranking African Americans in the Trump administration. She was a member of the administration until she quit this week, and she issued this statement that I want to put on the screen. The president's comments and actions surrounding racial injustice in black Americans cut sharply against my core values and convictions. Mercedes, this is a committed Republican saying she doesn't want to be part of the Trump administration.
Well, I wish that Mary Elizabeth would listen to the president's speech following the tragedy of George Floyd's death, where he said healing, not chaos, where he called for justice, where he brought in community leaders from the black community to speak with them, to listen to them. Just yesterday, I was with our coalition, our Black Voices Coalition, these men and women who stand with President Trump because of what he has done to help the black community. I'll give you an example. One angel mom, her son Brandon died, was killed by an illegal immigrant. And she said to me, she said, all black lives matter. But what about my son? Al Sharpton didn't show up. Jesse Jackson didn't show up. And guess what? When they went over to President Obama and Vice President Joe Biden, they did nothing. But when this angel mom, African American, went to President Trump, he's the one.
You know, I got to tell you, Mercedes, you got to answer my questions and stop making campaign speeches. I want to ask you about John Bolton's new book, which a federal judge says that he won't stop from being released. Here is the president's former national security advisor on President Trump.
I don't think he's fit for office. I don't think he has the competence to carry out the job. There really isn't any guiding principle that I was able to discern other than what's good for Donald Trump's reelection.
But it's not just John Bolton. He joins a list including Rex Tillerson, Jim Mattis, and John Kelly. How do you explain this list of top officials, all of those in the national security area, not only breaking with the president, but questioning his fitness for office?
Look, I worked with John Bolton while I was at the White House, and he never shared with me.
I'm asking you about all 4 of them, Mercedes.
I can tell you look, at the end of the day, John Bolton is disgruntled because of the fact that President Trump did not follow his direction. John Bolton lacks credibility, just like President George Bush.
And what about Rex Tillerson and Jim Mattis and John Kelly?
Look, these are individuals who did not agree with the president's policies when it came to foreign policy in general. And so, at the end of the day, it's not Rex Tillerson or John Kelly or Secretary Mattis who make these decisions. It's President Trump, and President Trump is going to listen to his advisors at the end of the day, but he's the ultimate decision maker when it comes to foreign policy. And guess what? Because of President Trump, We have ended these endless wars. He's the one that's been able to work on trade deals with China. You talk to Secretary Pompeo, you talk to Robert O'Brien, you talk to Secretary Esper. These are individuals who know that the president is focused on keeping America safe and ensuring that we keep working with our allies in all the areas of foreign policy, whether it be North Korea, whether it be the Middle East, and being tough on Iran. Contrast that to Joe Biden, which basically their administration gave cash to the Iranian regime. We're being tough on Iran. We're being tough on Cuba. Let's be real. When it comes to Joe Biden, he's going back to the Obama policies on Cuba, which we know would benefit and uplift these communist dictatorships.
Mercedes, thank you. Thanks for coming in today. Always good to talk with you.